If you're planning to travel abroad and you know you'll need cash, but you don't want to pay that currency conversion fee, this might be a solution for you. The Fidelity Cash Management Account has a debit card that reimburses ATM fees worldwide unlimited. And I actually used this when I went to Taiwan earlier this year, where most vendors still only accept cash. In this video, I'll be walking through my entire experience starting from opening the account, unboxing the card, using the card abroad, and getting that ATM fee reimbursed. So first, let's talk about just overview of the Fidelity Cash Management account. When you first open the account, you have the option of two base positions. You can either go the money market way, which has a higher return rate but it's more volatile and it's not FDIC insured, or you can go the FDIC insured rate, but it is much lower. But just like any other brokerage account, you can still invest your money in whatever option you want. It's just whatever uninvested money you have will automatically be placed in the base position, which is a huge benefit because you don't have to wait a day to liquidate your funds if you needed to use your debit card, or write checks, which is also another option. There are no opening fees or monthly maintenance fees, nor minimum account balance to keep it open. But of course, the highlight feature is the full reimbursement of ATM fees unlimited worldwide. To open an account, you can apply it online. I'll have the link in the description so you can go directly there. You just enter your basic information. There's no hard pull on your credit, so it's not going to be a hard inquiry on your report. And then in a few minutes or a few seconds, you should be able to open your account. Once open, you can log into your account online or via the app. It's relatively easy to use compared to, say, Charles Schwab, which I'll be doing a separate video on because they also have a debit card that reimburses ATM fees worldwide. If you're more used to a checking account, which is much simpler to see, it will show the pending transactions. Here, it won't really show it very well. And of course, it does look a little bit more busy, but for a brokerage account, it's actually relatively clean. But the first thing you want to do is definitely fund your account. So I highly recommend that you push the money into this account from your other bank accounts versus pulling the money from the cash management account. That way your funds will be ready much earlier because that is a requirement for you to even order the debit card. If you were to pull the money from Fidelity, you need to wait at least 10 business days for the money to clear before you can even order a debit card or a check. And you do need to make sure that you fund at least $250 to your cash management account. But once you have at least $250 available to withdraw in your account, you can go in and request the debit card. It's just a few button clicks or a few taps in the app. And then the debit card should be mailed within a few business days, and then it should arrive at your mailbox probably within 5 to 10 business days. The debit card comes in this plain white envelope from Omaha, Nebraska. On the back, it has the Fidelity logo. Opening it up, it has a few general papers, including this one, just high level of the features of the card, highlighting the fee reimbursement, and also how to manage and protect your debit card. This next paper is the debit card agreement and disclosure statement, so it's the fine print, the T's and C's. So feel free to pause this video if you want to read it in more detail. One key feature that stood out to me was that this card also doesn't have any foreign transaction fees, so you can use it on any debit purchases outside of the US and you won't incur that additional foreign transaction fee. Alright, let's get to now the start of the show, the actual paper containing the card. Basic information, how to activate your card and manage your account on Fidelity's website or app. Looking at the card itself after removing this activation notification sticker. You can see the front is pretty clean, no personal information revealed. It has the chip and pin technology and has tap to pay, the wireless technology. And the card design is pretty cool. There's a little bit of a material finish difference if you change the angle of the card. The edge is an evergreen color. On the back, you'll find your information and you can see it is on the Visa network. Alright, so now what has been my experience getting that ATM fee reimbursed? So I first wanted to try it out at US ATMs. After inserting your card, you enter the PIN that you have set up for the card. It's pretty standard stuff. But if you want to try to see your account balance on a random ATM, it's not going to let you, and instead just reject your card back out. So don't bother trying to mess with that. Instead, just go straight to withdrawing cash. Make sure to pick checking if that's one of the options, and then pick one of the available denominations. If you choose an arbitrary amount, it's just going to spit back your card again as well. Likely the ATM is going to let you know, hey, there's going to be a fee charge for this transaction because it's not the same bank as the debit card, and that's okay. In this case, it's $3. After I approve, the transaction is done. I get the cash in hand plus the receipt that shows the $3. And then when I go into my account, I see that $3 has been reimbursed on that same day. Probably shows up though 1 business day later. But now it's time to put it to the test abroad. So beforehand in the app, I did manage my travel notice so that Fidelity knows that I am traveling abroad so they don't think that it's fraud and won't freeze my account. Then giving it a try abroad in Taiwan, it was pretty easy to go through. It's kind of the similar story, just in a different language. The ATM is kind enough to let me know that it will be charging a fee since this is not the same bank as the card. I was curious to see if it would somehow let me pick a denomination of my own. Again, I was getting an error. Not a problem. This is pretty typical for using a debit card at some other bank. So I just picked one of the predetermined denominations. Again, it said to confirm. It showed me the exchange rate at that time, including the additional fee that is charging me to make this withdrawal. And then once I confirmed, I got my card back, I got the cash and the receipt. It clearly shows me what the fee was broken out. Now, I highly recommend that you save all your receipts just in case. I'm glad I did for this case because when I looked in my accounts, the ATM fee was not automatically reimbursed in this case. And as a result, I did end up having to call Fidelity, just use the number on the back of the card. And I had to do so a few times because I was first told the wrong information to wait for the statement to close, but that's definitely not true. But luckily, the call wait time was relatively low to get an agent. So after I think the second or third call, they were able to just manually refund me the cost. Because I was literally just asking for basically around $3, they didn't really dive too much into it. The service rep was able to general entry the refund and I saw it on my account the next day. My takeaway from this is to make sure that you open the account at least 2 months before your international trip just to be safe, and save all of your ATM receipts just in case it doesn't automatically reimburse the fee. I hope you found that helpful. I'll also be doing a similar video for Charles Schwab's debit card, so definitely subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks for watching.